There.
Recording.
Okay. What do you guys want tonight? Just a little bit of everything as usual? Any particular parts of the body you can just unmute or put it in the chat? Okay, let's begin on our backs tonight. Okay, one more minute. I'm just going to stay up at the computer until I see that everyone's okay and here. Just one more minute, but you can get comfy on your backs. Shavasana style, palms up, feet apart, arms and legs away from your torso, and then just sink into your mat. Okay, here we go. All right, so just beginning on our backs. In Shavasana. All right, so just really make sure that you're nice and splayed open, legs and arms. And just feel the weight of your body. Feel the movement of your belly as you breathe. And as your body calms, feel your mind calm as well. Okay, now just because the mind is more calm doesn't mean the thoughts are going to stop, right? They're always going to be popping into your awareness. That's normal. But just let the thoughts go. Try not to grab them. And slowly turn your head from right to left, very slowly. Close your eyes and really let your eyeballs just sink into the sockets. Stay inside your body. Stay with the sensations. When you start leaving the body with your thoughts, come back in. You're going to have to do that again and again. That's just kind of the nature of the beast. And then bring your head back to center. Drop into that place where you feel your skull touching your mat. And then bring both arms up toward the ceiling. Palms are facing each other. Bring the legs in so they're about hip distance and the feet are parallel, so no longer turned out. And then bring the arms slowly overhead and just feel the arm bones move in your shoulder joints. Slow, make it nice and slow. Don't quite touch the ground with your fingers, with your thumbs. Okay, just hover over the ground and then press out toward the fingertips and take your chin toward your chest. Now flex both heels. Let them just pop off the ground. That's how much you want to flex them. Spread the toes out. Take the hands, bring them together, intertwine your fingers, bend your elbows out to the sides, and then scoop your palms under your skull and just nestle your palms into the base of your skull. Keep those elbows open nice and wide. Pull your navel down toward the ground. Flatten your lower back into the ground a bit. Now, listen, keep that lower back flattened, keep the belly working, gently let the heels drop into the ground and let the feet relax. And now, don't push into the lower back quite as much. Let that little curve of the lower back appear. Draw the navel down toward the ground again. Flex the right heel. Lift that leg slowly up to the ceiling. Feel the femur bone moving. Okay, nice, nice, nice. Now lift the chest and the upper back off the ground, looking straight up at the ceiling. Already working on abdominals here. Feel that? Breathe into it. Yeah, breathe. Move your rib cage 360 degrees with your breath. Okay, now as the right leg slowly comes down, the left leg with a flexed heel slowly comes up. Don't let the right heel touch the floor. Now switch again. Make this really slow. Push through the flexed heels. Okay, abdominals, legs. Yeah. If it's too much for you to take your head off the ground, place it into the ground. That's fine. Slow here, slow and controlled. Now, both feet up to the ceiling. Let your head fall into the ground. Open the arms in a T pose with the palms up. Remember, the arms are not higher than the shoulders. They're shoulder level or slightly lower. Flex your heels up to the ceiling and press your heels up to the ceiling as much as you can. You're going to feel the abdominals work. You're going to feel the lower back work. Press, press, press. Yeah, just press as if you want to push the ceiling away from you. Try to keep the shoulders relaxed. Now open the legs nice and wide into a really wide V pose. Take your palms into your inner thighs. Press them into your inner thighs just a bit. And then soften your arms to the sides of your body and just breathe here, letting the groin and the inner thighs open. Now, press as hard as you can into the inner thighs and then bring the legs together. Keep pushing into the inner thighs as the legs come together. Push, 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 push. Nice, nice, nice. Bring the arms up to the ceiling, palms come together again, intertwine your fingers, slip your palms under your skull, elbows out to the sides. Turn your feet in so that you can bring the soles of your feet together, and then the knees come out to the side, bent. Press the soles of the feet together as much as you can. You're going to feel the lower belly and the lower back work. In other words, your core. Press, press, press. Now lift the face and the chest up to the ceiling. So you're looking straight up. You're not looking at your feet. The neck is staying nice and long. You're not rolling the head forward at all. Now, bring the knees toward the elbows and the elbows toward the knees, but you're still looking straight up at the ceiling. Now straighten both legs out away from you. Again, knees and elbows. Straighten those legs. Knees and elbows. Now listen, if your lower back hurts or is a little tender, try putting the legs a little farther from the ground, farther from the floor, a little higher. Okay, now keep it right here and pulse knees to elbows, elbows to knees. Press the feet together. Little crunch work here. Make sure you exhale. Now let the feet come to the ground. Keep the legs in the same position. Let the knees open. Bring the head down to the ground. Let the elbows drop. Breathe here. Now, if your lower back bothers you, slide your heels away from your groin a bit till the lower back can relax. Okay, now bring the knees together. Lift the knees up, put them just over your hips. So you're in a reverse tabletop pose. So the knees are over the hips, knees are hip distance apart. Flex both heels, pull the navel down. Lift the head and the upper back off the ground again. Straighten the right leg as you bring the left knee in toward your chest. Lift and turn your torso. Nice. Come back to center with your torso. Right knee bends, left leg is straight. Lift the torso, turn it to the left. Remember, you're not just moving the head, you're moving the torso. The head moves just because the torso moves. Switch sides. We're going to bicycle. Now, exhale. Inhales come on their own. Exhale, don't. We tend to hold the exhales, send them out. And bring it back to center. Head comes down. Grab a hold of your shins. Press your thighs into your torso. Push down on your shins. Bring the elbows in close to your body, chin to the chest. Feel how your spine is flattened into the mat, nice and open here. All right, drop your feet into your mat. Feet are again hip distance apart and parallel. So you're wearing skis, okay? You've got skis attached to your feet and they're not crossing in the front, they're parallel. Take your hands a little bit away from your body, palms down. We're setting up for bridge, everyone. Chin to the chest. Now, listen, before you do anything else, soften across the upper back and into your shoulders. Okay, shoulders always want to come in and help. They're these codependent muscle groups. You don't need them. Okay, not for this at least. Lift your tailbone. Just kind of lift it up as if you're pointing it up toward the ceiling. Okay, you feel that little pelvic tilt. Now just lift your hips off the ground just an inch or two and press more deeply into both feet. You're going to feel the calf muscles ignite. Okay, you're going to feel the glutes squeeze. Nice. And then slowly let the lower back down again. Bring the heels about an inch or two closer to your buttocks, but keep them parallel, feet and legs. That little pelvic tilt where you lift your tailbone. Got it? Keep it. Now begin to lift the spine off the ground as you bring your bridge up, up, up. Chin is starting to go more deeply into the chest, and you're getting the thyroid gland, a nice compression, a toning of the thyroid gland in the throat. Now, lift your hips a little higher, and I want you to squeeze a quarter between your butt cheeks. Squeeze a quarter and hold it. Okay, come halfway down with the butt, bring it up again. Halfway down with the hips. Bring it up again. Squeeze that quarter. Down. Lift up and squeeze. Listen up. Pretend that you have spirals starting from your hips all around your thighs to your knees. Spiral inward with the legs. Turn those spirals inward. Lift a little higher. Get your arms now closer to your body and under your mat. Lift a little higher. Turn the palms toward each other. Pinkies are into the mat. Lift the arms up and overhead slowly. And look, you can bring your bridge a little higher yet. Nice. Keep it up there. Now, as you bring the arms up to the ceiling, begin to bring the spine back down into the mat. You're lowering your bridge. Nice, 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 nice. And when you feel the lower back make contact to the mat, lift the knees up to the chest and give yourself a little hug. Release that lower back. Nice. Arms out to the side in a T position again. Palms are up, chin to the chest. Soften the upper back and the shoulders. Cross the right leg over the left. And then slowly let your legs drop to the left side. Now you're at home, so if you have a pillow, you can place that under your legs if you can't get your legs all the way down. Also, you can slide your legs away from your arm. That could help. Now, you've put your skeleton in this form, right? Arms are to the side. You've got a twist in your pelvis. You've got the legs crossed. This position that you put yourself in, this pose, is opening up your right hip. Take your awareness there, feel it. Feel that? All that soft tissue around the right hip. Let it soften. Let the right leg get a little heavier. Nice. You've also twisted the spine. Feel the lower spine twist. Bring your awareness there. Now bring your awareness to the right pectoral muscle, the right chest muscle, and feel how that's getting just a gorgeous stretch here. And notice too, if you really get inside and feel this, how that stretch can even run into the right shoulder and a little bit down the right arm. Now add a belly breath. Really move your belly and your rib cage with your breathing here. Little resistance, right? Because you're twisted. Push through that with your breath. And then feel the relaxation across the forehead and deep into the eyeballs. All right, draw your navel back toward your spine. Keep it there. Squeeze your legs together. Now, with that energy, bring your legs back to center. Uncross your legs and just rock side to side, one hip to the other, and walk your hips down toward the bottom of your mat just to lengthen your spine and straighten it out again till, so that we're ready to stretch it to the other side. It's like, think about like a dish rag. You want that dish rag nice and straight, okay? That's your spine. And then you squeeze it and twist it, right? So we've got it straight. Bend the knees, left over right with the legs, shoulders and upper back relaxed. Here we go. Slowly bring the legs to the right side of your mat this time. Okay. Now you put it in this position, right? With the hips turned to the right. So now you've got the left hip. Feel that. Just enjoy the opening of the left hip. Lower back twist. Left chest into the left shoulder and arm. Notice if you're pushing into the right shoulder or tensing it, soften it up. All right. Even though you're all twisted up, this is passive. You want to get really passive in this pose. Make everything soft around the bones. Now, add a nice deep breath, belly and rib cage. Now, squeeze your legs together, draw your navel back, keep that energy. Use it to take your legs back to center and uncross your legs. All right, just rock side to side along the lower back. Feel the width of the lower back, getting a nice massage. And then you can circle the knees, get a nice circular massage going around the lower back. And then reverse the circle. All right, legs straight up to the ceiling. Separate those legs a bit. Bend the knees toward your armpits. Take the hands to the bottom of your feet from the inside, happy baby pose. So bend your elbows a little bit so that you can press your knees down to the ground. Keep the lower back connected to the mat. Don't pick it up, just keep it there. So in other words, you don't want to bring your legs way up and pick up the lower back. Keep the legs down a little bit so the lower back can contact. And then side to side with the legs. Happy baby. I always think of those babies in a stroller who are holding their feet and right? That's what you are right now. You're just a happy baby. All right. Cross at the ankles. Okay. Now, we're going to do a little more core work. So we're not going to come all the way up. We're going to flick the feet up to the ceiling, then flick them to the bottom of our mat and hold it. What? Try not to let the feet go to the ground. Hold it, hold it. back is straight. Okay. Again, flick up to the ceiling and back. Now, if you don't like rolling like this, just hold it like this. Flick up and hold. Flick up and hold. Okay, listen up. You're holding. Uncross your feet, straighten your legs, straighten your arms, boat pose. Back is straight too. And cross at the ankles. And now we'll make our way up. Okay, bring it to tabletop pose. Spread your fingers apart. Good foundation in the hands. Make it wide. All right. Check out the wrists. Make sure they're dropped directly beneath your shoulders. Look back there at the knees. Knees are under the hips. Lift the belly. Feel the strength of the spine. That's the top of the table. Remember, the neck is part of the spine. So if you lifted your neck, go ahead and try it. If you lifted your head to look forward, look how the top of the spine or the neck is curling. You're getting compression there. We don't want that. Instead, slowly take the head forward and then take the gaze directly down at your mat between your hands. See how that lines up the spine? All right, elbows bend back just a little micro bend. Lift up those hips, widen them. Drop your belly. Send your chest forward between your biceps. And you got cow pose here. Feel the saddle in your back. Feel the width of your hips. Feel the nice stretching at the front of the belly. Moving it into cat pose. Awareness to the belly. Pull the belly up toward the spine. Now round your tail down toward the ground and drop the crown of your head toward the ground and arch your back up to the ceiling. Okay, feel the upper back. Feel the upper back. We're going to make it even wider. Listen up. Turn the elbows in toward each other so they're facing each other. Okay, and then bend the elbows to the side just a teeny bit. And then see if you can't drop your head a little more and press into your hands. And then hands are stuck in your sticky mat, your yoga mat, but try to turn them toward one another just a bit. I know you're getting the triceps too in this. Release that and back to cow. Drop your udders, lift your tail, send your heart forward, look forward. Cow. Look at the opposite shape in the spine, right? The U shape going in the other direction. Back to cow. And another cat. And bring it to table. Take your right knee in only about an inch or two. Send your right arm out. Reach out. Pull your belly up toward your spine. Send your left leg back with a flexed heel. Stretch through the body. Stretch out through the right fingertips and back there through the left heel. Those of you who want to level up, take this to 45 degrees. If you don't want to level up, keep it where it's at. If you're at 45 degrees, you're going to feel how the lateral glutes got fired up. Now take it forward and back again. Take your right hand, place it back into the mat, bend your left knee, push your left heel up to the ceiling, press deeply into your hands, don't collapse into the shoulders, and then just pulse that left heel up toward the ceiling. Deep glute work. Keep it lifted. Take the right arm, bring it forward again. Turn the right palm to the side. Swing that arm back behind you and look for the top of your left ankle. If you don't want to do this one, just put the right arm straight out. Now, push the front of that ankle into the hand and lift the knee a little bit. Right arm pulls back with this. And release back into table pose. Get the right knee back into the position, left knee back into the position it was in, right under the hips. All right. Bring the left knee in an inch or two. Send the left arm out, really reach, really reach. Send the right leg back, left arm, right leg. Push back through a flexed right heel. Breathe here, push deeply into that right hand. 45 degrees if you want to level up. Remember, keep pressing into that right hand. You don't want to collapse into the shoulder. You want to make it strong. Now front and back again. Left palm comes down to the mat. Bend your right knee. Keep it flexed through the heel. Lift the heel up to the ceiling and pulse. Keep the belly lifted. Keep everything nice and strong here. Your table is your base. You got a strong table base you're working off of here. All right, stop the pulsing. Left arm comes forward and you can stay right here. Or you can turn that palm to the side, get the arm behind you, look for the top of the foot, top of the ankle, and then lift the right leg. You know, it just kind of lifts because you got a hold of it and you're pressing the ankle into the hand. And release back to table pose. All right, might as well get the shoulders and thread the needle here. So again, our foundation is a really nice strong table pose. Right arm, sweep it up, and then take that hand behind the left wrist, send it out to the side, drop down into that right shoulder, the right palm is up, and then just, yeah, drop into that right shoulder. Okay, we know it's an awkward pose, takes a few moments, I should say, to kind of get used to it. And then that left hand, put it wherever you want. This is a left shoulder release. So wherever you put that left hand, just get it out of the picture. Left shoulder should be really relaxed. I like to actually put it up on the side of my body. You can even put a bind in this. So really let the weight drop into that right shoulder. Right? There's a tendency to pull away from that dropping, right? Because we want to we think we're, kind of guarding it. But as your body gets used to this position, it begins to drop more and more weight to release those shoulder muscles. Left hand comes back into the mat right in front of your face. Straighten that arm and then release the right arm from underneath you. Come back into your table pose. Okay, make sure your table is nice and lined up. Left arm sweeps up to the side. Now you bring that hand behind the left wrist. The palm is up on the left hand. Drop down into the left shoulder. Head comes down. Look for a place where the head can be, more or less comfortable. It's an awkward pose, but get as comfy as you can. And then get that right arm and right hand wherever it feels best for you. And then it's all about releasing weight into that left shoulder. And right hand in front of your face, palm down, straighten that arm to lift and release the left arm. Okay, curl your toes. Press your toe pads deeply into the mat. Okay, and now take your hands a little bit closer to the front of your mat. So they're in front of your shoulder. Okay, so they're still shoulder width apart, but in front of the shoulders. Now, send the hips back towards your heels and really press down into the toes. We're going to release
the fascia that's on the bottom of the feet and the toes themselves, and then come up. Come back again. Push the hips down toward the heels, press the toes deeply into the mat, get that good stretch under the feet. Come back up. Okay, you can keep doing that, or you can come all the way back. Place your hips onto your heels. Move your hands back to the sides of your legs and actually sit deeply into your heels and press your toes into the mat. Okay. And like I said, if this is too much for you, just do the forward back. All right, now bringing the hands forward again, bring the knees out to the sides of your mat and your big toes together. And now press your hips back here. And then walk or slide your hands forward, feeling the spine get nice and long. Yeah, and just drop down towards your mat as close as you can get. Now this is a groin release, so just let the inner thighs and the groin go. Full belly breath. Lift the head. Walk your hands back toward you, just a few little steps back. Now, take your paws over to the right side, but keep your legs exactly where they are. Right side, we're going to do a lateral stretch for the spine, a sideways stretch for the spine. Got it? Okay. Side as much as you can get. Now drop those elbows toward the ground and drop your head toward the ground. Now, a really nice breath here. A breath that fills up your rib cage, the front of it, the sides of it, and the back of it. A 360 degrees rib cage move. Add that here. Relax the back of the neck and your head. See how you move everything with a breath like that? And lift your head. And move it to the other side. Taking your time. Okay, once you're as far over as you're going to get, drop your elbows toward the ground or into the ground. Drop your head, relax the back of your neck, and add that rib cage breath. Back of the rib cage too, you want to move. And straighten the arms to lift your body. Take your hands back to center. Walk your hands back toward you. Get your knees parallel again and come back into table pose. All right. Fingers are spread apart. That middle finger, if you drew it to the top of your mat, would be making a T. Press into the edges of your palms and into every single finger. Look down at your fingers. Okay, there's a knuckle that we're used to calling the knuckle, but look above it under the fingernail. That's your second knuckle, right? Press into both knuckles of each finger. Now, curl your toes. Press into your toe pads, lift your belly, listen up, lift your knees just an inch or two off the ground. If this is too much for you, just go straight up to down dog and wait for us there. Now, as you're doing this, press into those hands mightily. Keep the shoulders and the chest nice and open and working. Push, 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 press, press, press. That's it. Now, straighten the legs and come into your down dog. All right. All right. Look back there at your feet. Fingers are spread. Now, push the front of the mat away from you and take the chest back. Yeah, just push the mat forward with your hands. They don't move, but it's like you want to push that mat away from you And that drives the chest back, takes the weight out of your wrists. Keep your belly lifted. Bend your right knee, press your left heel back. Feel the back of your left leg light up. Feel that? All the way up to the hip. Other side, right heel reaches back, left knee bends. Keep pressing that mat forward. Nice. Other side again. Walking the dog a little bit here. Other side again. Yeah, again. One more set here. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, drop both heels back. Lift your chest up towards your thighs. And take that left foot in a few inches and sweep the right leg up to the ceiling. All right, now feel your hands pressing into the mat. Glide your body forward until your shoulders are over your wrists. That right leg is still back there. Those of you who want to level up, bend the right knee, take it to the right shoulder, press it back again. Shoulder, press it back. Shoulder, press it back. Shoulder, press it back. Now back in a three-legged dog. Press your chest back, lift that right leg. Turn your hips to the right, lift your right ankle to the ceiling, and pulse the right ankle to the ceiling. Little pulses here. You feel that in the left inner thigh? Now listen, it's your left shoulder that's taking the weight now. So press deeply into that left hand, keeping the shoulder open and strong. Now turn the hips toward the mat. Look forward between your hands. Right foot comes forward between your hands. Shimmy the left toes back. Okay, nice. Shimmy the left toes back. Now squeeze your left butt cheek. Press deeply into the sole of your right foot. Keep that left butt cheek squeezed. Straighten your right leg. Walk your hands back and you're in a pyramid pose. Bend the elbows back. Drop your forehead toward your shin. Ooh, hamstrings getting a big opening. Right leg, feel that. Good breath right here. Big breath. Okay, bend the right knee, bring it forward until it's over the ankle. Gently drop the left knee to the ground and the top of the left foot to the ground. Okay? Take your left hand out toward the edge of your mat and take your right arm over your right leg so that the right hand and the left hand are next to each other. Now, look at your right knee. It should still be over your right ankle, not out to the side, okay? Okay, now bend the elbows back and press the chest forward. It's really subtle, but it gets the left hip flexor, front of the left hip. Release that. Those of you who want more, I'm going to give you something else. If you want to do that one again, go for it. Otherwise, get down on your elbows. Intertwine your fingers. Curl your left toes. Lift the left knee off the ground. Press down deeply into the elbows and into the hands. Press them into the ground and rock forward and back. Lizard pose. Bring it back and down again. The knee to the ground, top of the foot to the ground. Come up off of your elbows if you're on them. Swing the right arm over that leg. Make sure the knee is over the ankle, so realign that if it's not. Curl the left toes, lift the left knee. Look back there at your left foot. Hop it forward a few little hops and turn it out about 45 degrees. And walk up the thigh or bring the arms up, sweep them up to bring yourself up to warrior one. All right. Feel that left butt cheek. Squeeze it. Press that energy down the left leg and into the outer edge of the left foot where you're secured into your mat. Take your hands into Namaste Mudra overhead. Cross the thumbs over one another. Bring the mudra to the chest. Elbows are lifted. Press the hands together. Actually, let's uncross the thumbs. Let's get the wrists here. Separate the fingers in your mudra. Press the hands together a lot. Notice it in the shoulders and the chest. Draw your navel back. Lift your elbows without lifting your shoulders. Now, turn your fingertips forward slowly and feel the wrist get this really nice release. Look at your inner wrist. Bring it toward you just a little bit, elbows away from you. I mean, barely, right? You're not going to be able to move it much. Keep pressing those hands into one another. Now bring the fingertips up to the ceiling. Press, press, press. Now bring the fingertips toward you and press the inner wrists away from you. Still keeping the shoulders nice and low. Now here's the good part. Release the hands. Keep it in the mudra, keep the elbows high though. Turn to the right. Pulse to the right. Little oblique work for the abdominals. Bring it back to center. Lift the arms up to the ceiling here. Turn it around again. All right, right arm comes forward, drops down. The top of that hand comes to the inside of the right thigh. Press the thigh and the hand into one another. Squeeze the left butt cheek. Lift the left fingertips up to the ceiling. Take that arm back. Turn that left palm toward the ground. Keep the right leg exactly where it is and just release the right arm and you're in warrior two. Straighten the right leg without locking it. Turn your hips to the left. Soften the shoulders, lift the chest. Okay, you just created a big triangle underneath you. Take your torso to the right. Draw to the right of that triangle. Drop the right arm down. Take the top of the leg or the hand with the palm open to the side of the leg. Lift the left arm and turn your torso to the left. And you got your triangle. Those of you who want to bind your triangle, turn that palm behind you, the top palm, bring the arm back. Oh, doesn't that feel good? Even if you don't bind, you could do that. It just feels so good. Bend the elbow and take the top of that hand into your back body. There's a bind. You don't have to bind though. It could stay up to the ceiling. Release the bind if you have it. Look down at your right foot. Bend the right knee until it's over the ankle. Now bring that left arm over your ear for intense side stretch. Can you feel it down the left side of your body? Reach out into the fingertips. Open up your left waist with that. Those of you who want to put a bind here, go for it. I know there's a lot of binders out there. Release the bind if you put a bind in it. Take that arm over your ear again. Now let's cartwheel up to warrior two. Okay, we're back at warrior two. Right palm comes up to the ceiling. Left arm just drops behind you. Soften that left shoulder. Just let the arm dangle back there. Here we go, right rib cage, you got it. Ready to put some rib cage breath into this? Go for it. Oh yeah. And back to warrior two. Straighten your right leg, turn your foot to the side of the mat. So now you're in a nice wide V pose. Okay, hinge from your hips, from the hips, from the hips. The waists stay nice and long. We're going to go upside down and invert. Oh, nice inversion here. Spine is upside down. Here's where you can release those neck muscles. Let the head, let the skull be heavy.
and just get it real passive. It's just hanging. Traction, right? It's just opening up the vertebrae of the neck, releasing those muscles. Palms under your head, straight down into the floor, edge of your mat. Arms are straight. Hold your belly up. Walk your hands forward. We're coming into a wide dog. All right. Head drops between the arms. And then you can see that triangle back there that's created by your legs and that line between your feet. Press the center of your chest. Press your heart center toward the middle of that triangle. Soften the elbows. Glide your torso forward. Shoulders are over the wrists. And now you walk your hands back towards your mat. Look at your right foot. Turn it so it's facing the front of your mat. Bring your hands forward to either side of that foot. Lift that back heel. Turn those back toes forward. Moving it into pigeon pose. Take the foot to the left side of the mat, knee to the right, and then you send that left leg straight back. Okay? Level the hips. So you can just hang out here, right? This is pigeon right here. But if you want to put more weight into that hip, just like we did with the shoulder, right, with thread the needle, you start dropping your body weight down into that hip. It just adds a little more release. If you're doing it on your back, if you're doing pigeon on your back, you've got the knees bent over your hips, and then you cross the right ankle at the top of the left thigh with the right knee to the side. Grab under the left leg and draw it toward you. All right, just release into this. A hip is a big joint, takes a while. Soften it up. Just let the body get nice and soft in this pose. Okay, now come on up. Palms on either side of your mat. Okay. Now, bend your elbows back and press your chest forward. And then at the end, drop your head and release everything. Straighten your arms and lift it back up. Here we go again. Elbows bent. Chest draws forward. Really reach forward with the chest. Drop the head. Come back up. One more time. And it's like your hands want to like drag back. They want to like drag toward the back of your mat, but they're stuck. And back up. All right, swing that back leg forward. Okay, and the right knee stays bent to the side. So, left leg, check out the femur. Look right through your thigh, right in the middle of it at your femur bone. It's coming straight out from your hip. That's what you line up first. Then the right leg. Right knee to the side, right sole of the foot into your thigh. Fingertips to the ground. Flex the left heel. Drag the heel back and the left hip back just a little bit, There. Now make your way down. And as you're making your way down over the left leg, keep that right knee to the side and keep the edge of that right thigh pushing down toward the ground. It's going to open up your hip, your inner thigh, and your lower back. So now it doesn't matter how far down you go, right? You're just softening your body over that leg. So that left leg is getting a nice stretch. The left torso is getting a nice stretch. And then you've got this intense feeling going on the right side, right lower back, right hip, right inner, right?
because you've got that leg rotated and you got everything wide open there. So just notice those two feelings, left side and right. Now slowly come up and bring your leg behind you again. Come back into tabletop. Curl your toes, lift your hips, and press those hips way up and way back for down dog. Separate those fingers. Hands are stuck in your mat, but you're trying to drag them forward. Yeah, it's like you're trying to push the mat forward away from you. Lift your belly, lift your hips, drop your head. Right foot comes in this time, just a bit. Left leg sweeps up. All right, press into the hands, feel it. Glide forward with your shoulders or shoulders over your wrists, left leg lifted. Now listen, this is kind of, this is not an easy pose. If you want to stay in three-legged dog, stay there. Bend the left knee if you want to level up. Take that knee to the shoulder, send it back again. Shoulder, back again, really controlled if you're doing this. Shoulder, back, let's do one more. And three-legged dog for everyone. Bring it up, send the chest back. Open the hips to the left. Notice how you've loaded into the right shoulder now. So push that right hand into the mat. Send it away from you. That's it. That's it. Now the shoulder feels strong. Okay, now left ankle, bring it a little closer to the ceiling and pulse it. Keep the leg long, keep the heel flexed. Lift it again. Turn your hips toward the mat. Look forward to that space between your hands. Place your foot between your hands. However you want to get it there, right? You can stand up and just come in this pose. You can swing it forward. Just as long as you have the knee over the ankle. Now, shimmy those right toes back as far back as you can get them. Squeeze the right butt cheek. Press the right heel back. So that whole right leg is super active. Now, press deeply into the left foot. Now the left leg is active. Okay? Now straighten the left knee, drop the right heel, and drop your forehead toward your shin. Walk your hands back. And there's the left hamstring underneath you there. Feel that? Give it some breath. Bend the left knee, bring it forward over the ankle. Nice. Now, swing that left arm over your leg and walk the right hand over a bit and the left. Make sure the left knee is over the ankle. So wherever you need to put your hands to make that happen. Now, just push your hips forward a bit from here, getting that hip flexor. And then you can drop the right knee to the ground and the top of the right foot, and you can push forward from here. Those of you who want to level up, take it down to the elbows, clasp your hands, curl your toes, lift the knee, and then a forward and back rocking motion for lizard pose. Those of you who are in lizard pose, release that, take the knee to the ground, come up off of the elbows. Everyone swing that left arm over the ear or over the leg, and the right hand gets closer to the foot. Curl the toes, lift the knee. Look back there at the right foot, hop it forward just a little bit, turn it out to the side. And then you may want to walk your left foot over a little bit to the side because you want your feet on different tracks here for balance. Now walk it up the thigh or swing the arms up to bring yourself up. Warrior one. All right, we're going to do something else since we already opened the wrists. Come forward. Turn your palms away from you. Bring your arms back. You're holding onto a big beach ball back there between your hands. Squeeze it, pump it, squeeze it. Really get that space between your shoulder blades, thoracic spine, or T-spine they call it, mid-back. Yeah. Squeeze, 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 and bring it up to warrior one again. So warrior one, your hips are facing forward, right? Headlights are forward, hips, headlights forward. All right. Take the left arm forward. Take the top of that hand into the inner thigh. Press them into one another. Take a look at the knee. It should be either over the ankle or behind it. You should see your left toes. Now, keep that leg exactly where it is as you draw that right arm back. Turn the right palm toward the ground. And then release the left arm, palm facing down. Warrior one. Well, warrior two. It is rather. Okay, straighten the left knee without locking it. You've just formed your triangle base beneath you. Now you can gently draw your torso out toward your left fingertips. Drop the left hand to the leg. Lift the right arm to the ceiling and turn your chest to the right. And you have your triangle pose. You want to bind your triangle? Turn the top palm behind you. Bring that arm back. Bend the elbow. And take the top of the hand into your back body. Release the bind. Look down at your left foot. Bend the left knee until it's over the left ankle. Okay, now look to the side again. And then bring your arm over your ear, intense side stretch. Unlock your right waist. Those of you who like to bind here, take a bind. Release the bind, intense side stretch again. Cartwheel up, warrior two. Drop your shoulders, lift the crown of your head, and stretch your arms away from your heart center. Rotate the left palm up, and then bring it up to the ceiling. That right arm just drops. It gets really loose. It just falls right out of the shoulder joint. And now you've got your left rib cage open, ready to do the 360 degrees rib breathing here. Not easy. Try it. Oh, intense, huh? Feels good. And back to warrior two. Warrior one. And come down for pigeon pose. So make sure, look back there that your right toes are facing forward. Walk that left foot to the right side of your mat. Drop the knee to the other side. Send the right leg straight back. And again, it's really important that you try to get your hips as level to the ground as possible, because there's going to be a tendency for that left hip to hike way up and the hips to be out of, they're not straight. The best form is a nice level hip. Okay, both hips are level, and then you come down over. You may not get it perfectly level. It's always going to be a little picked up, but as level as you can get it. Oh, and just feel what happens when the hip releases. That's a good one. Try to keep your mind in your body with your sensations. Try not to float out of your body with your thoughts. And if you do, just come right back in the body again. And slowly lift it up. Take the palms to the sides of your mat. Bring them back just a little bit in front of the shoulders. Bend the elbows back. Send the heart forward. And it's like you're dragging your hands back, but they're stuck. So you've got that forward energy with the heart and the backward energy with the hands, and then release, drop the head, straighten the arms, come back up again. Okay, here we go, the intense part. Really get it forward. This gets your thoracic spine too. Feel it? And release. Another one. Arms dragging back, heart pressing forward. And release and come on up. Okay, curl those back toes. Rearrange your hands so that they're under your shoulders. Lift that back knee, that right knee. Push into the hands. Lift your hips and the left leg back. And walk it to the center of your mat. Okay, bend your knees. Grab the backs of your ankles. We'll go sideways. A little easier to see. And just hang out here. And notice how you have your spine nice and curved and open over your legs, right? And also notice how you've got this nice traction going for the neck again, right? Gravity's taking your head, opening the neck. Now swing your arms back, lift up. Swan dive forward, hinge from your hips. Standing forward fold, knees can be straight or bent. Front of legs, front of body, toward each other. Hands into the shins, monkey pose, straighten the arms, send the heart forward here. Keep the belly lifted. Ooh, feel how open the hips are behind you. Refold, another standing fold here. Bend the knees, swing the arms forward, lift. Swan dive forward, you're hinging from the hips, back stays straight. Standing fold right here. Monkey pose, look over that little cliff, little monkey looking over the edge of a mountain. And fold again. Bend the knees, swing the arms back and up. All right, we're gonna waterfall now. Remember to bend your knees and send your butt back when you come down, right? That protects the lower back. So inhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, excuse me. Inhale nose, exhale mouth. So when you waterfall, when you fall over, you exhale. Come up and inhale. And one more. Stay down. All right, nice. You can grab opposite elbows with your hands. Let those wing bones fall apart. Ooh, feel the opening between them. Widen. And then you can swing side to side if that feels good. Little elephant trunk here. Bring it back to center. Release the elbows, release the hands. Slowly roll up, push into the feet. And Tadasana, mountain pose at the top. Palms forward. Palms toward each other, facing your thighs. Right arm comes up, bend the elbow, take the side of your head. And let's get the neck. Right ear toward the right shoulder. Feel that left neck at a really nice opening. Release it. Left arm comes up. Bend the elbow. Take the right side of your head. Left ear to the left shoulder. There's a right side opening up for you. Breathe into it. Drop the right shoulder. Back to center. Both arms come up overhead. Namaste Mudra with the hands. Mudra is a hand position, and this one is called the Namaste Mudra. Bring it to your heart. Drop your elbows, drop your forehead to the fingertips. Feel the next breath. All right, releasing down to the ground, front body facing the earth. Crocodile pose. You got your hands stacked, feet toed in, head resting on that top hand, and just let it all go. All right, take your hands into the mat, chest level, cobra pose. Okay, legs are hip distance or closer, and the feet are toed in. Lift your pubic bone off the mat, curl it up toward your belly button, gently drop it back into the mat. Soften the lower back. Okay, here we go. You're going to peel your front body off your mat using the back muscles. Press into the hands as little as possible. Keep those elbows close to you. If you're coming up back bendy. So remember, cobra is just here. This is cobra, you don't go up very high. But if you want to move into a back bend, some people love back bends. You can do that here. Now, come back down just as slowly as you came up. Keep those elbows drawn in and get the weight out of the palms of your hands as soon as possible. Make the back do the work. Kiss your forehead to your mat. Come up one more time. Another cobra. And then if you want to lateral twist it tonight, draw one shoulder back, look over. Now that's only if your lower back is telling you it's okay. Then the other, and then come down slowly. Forehead touches the mat to complete the pose. Turn your head to one side, flip your palms up, arms to the sides, elbows bent, and you can take your feet apart, legs apart, but just keep your feet toed in. Rest into that cheekbone, relaxing your neck as much as possible. And then very slowly turn your head to the other side. Rest into that cheekbone. Head back to center, palms into the mat at your shoulders, push up into table. Curl your tail toward the ground, and then slowly bring your hips back. We're opening the lower back and the spine. You feel it? You're nice and warmed up now. So this child's pose can be slow. Yeah, let it open. Just come down. And then get your arms in a position where your shoulders are relaxed. So elbows definitely bent, possibly arms to the sides. All right, take a few more breaths there. And then if you're staying for Shavasana tonight, flip it over on your back and come into Shavasana pose, corpse pose, like we started out with, right at the beginning. So just allow your body to really, really soften. Scan for any areas that may be holding tension. Give those areas awareness. And of course, when you give them awareness, you notice that they begin to let go a bit. Just notice that. Now take your awareness to your breath and really, really focus on your breath. Be very precise. Notice when the breath begins, follow it all the way through until it ends, and then a new breath. So just one breath at a time. I mean, if you can follow one or two breaths, you're doing great. Because as you know, the mind gets distracted by thoughts. Okay, so and thoughts, it's just the nature, right, of the human mind. There's always thoughts, always thoughts. But just for now, call those thoughts completely irrelevant. No matter what that thought is, make it irrelevant and watch it disappear. And then go back to your breath. Feel how the upper back is relaxing, your arms, your hands. Notice the feeling at the palms of your hands, all those nerve endings. It's like a little electric feeling there. Soften the belly, let it move freely as you breathe. Relax the buttocks and the hips, groin and inner thighs. Feel the heaviness of both your legs. Your feet, soles of the feet, like the hands, so many nerve endings in the palms and the soles of your feet. Feel it. Feel the feet relax. Then moving up to your head, release all the weight of your skull. Just let the floor hold it, all of it. And now the neck muscles can relax. They have nothing to hold up. And the eyeballs, let them drop into the sockets and rest. Forehead, space between your eyebrows, cheekbones, bridge of your nose, lips, tongue, jaw. And then just behind your forehead, feel your brain relax. And all the way to the middle of your brain and way back at your brainstem at the back of your head. And now notice the breath, the prana, the life force moving through you. And when the mind is still and you let the thoughts be and unravel, you'll notice this inner peace, right? That's the part that's like the big blue sky of awareness and consciousness. It's always there. Just feel that inner peace. Let it flow. And keeping in mind that that is yours. Okay, that is your true nature. All the rest is distraction and clutter. And then into nice Shavasana, if you'd like to put a prayer, Sankalpa, intention, you can do that now. Yeah, take that to your heart, that desire, warm it up, give it some breath, some prana. Next exhale, release it. And just be with your breath again. All right, slowly making your transition. So maybe you just move a little part of your body, or it could be a whole big stretch, or maybe it's just kind of a mental shift. Maybe there's no body movement at all. And then gently roll to your right side, right head resting on your bicep, knees tucked up toward your chest, little fetal position. And then slowly make your way to seated pose, easy pose. All right, stretch those arms open, palms up to the ceiling, heart wide open. Inhale up. Namaste Mudra over your head. Bring that mudra to your heart. Namaste. Okay, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening. I'm trying to think if there's anything I need to say. There is not. We still have quite a few sessions. This goes all the way till, I believe, the last Thursday of May. So we have quite a few left. And then, of course, in summer, there will not be live stream. They'll only be in person. So, but we'll start up again in September. But we have a ways to go for that yet. All right. Have a good night. Good weekend. See you next week.